I wonder what a good theme for a slide would be. I got it. How about a castle? Let's get to it. Hello and welcome back to our Planet Coaster 2 hard mode. And yeah, in the last episode, we made the Swirly Pearl a ride skin for the Hyperspin. And man, this is the most decorated thing in the park uh, currently. And yeah, park's doing very well. We have $13,000. Um, our staff is looking pretty happy. We started paying them in the last episode, and just in general, we're doing we're doing great. So, in this episode, I think we're gonna let it go a little bit to make a little bit more money. Uh, but we might start adding some more security officers. We need to start addressing some of the large extended queues that we have because of how many people we have in our park now. So that might be something that we take a look into addressing. But we are going to theme, I believe we're going to theme the slide here. And, I think we might try and keep it with the aquatic theme. Not 100% certain. Um, but yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. We also, I think we're gonna hire another mechanic too. Oh, we caught a pickpocket, so that's good. Um, so maybe actually let's do some security stuff here first. So I do want to get another security post. I think it makes sense to do another one right in this area here. Let's see if we can just rotate them around. That's going to hire a security guard for us too. So I think that would be good to have. And I'm sure we're going to add another one down here. Just not quite ready to do that yet. And then I want to hire another mechanic. Because then that will allow us, because of the way we're doing everything, we can actually give him an opportunity to research. Let's look at our mechanics. So yeah, so we want our breaks to be staggered, and then want one research in the morning, one research at night. That way, hopefully, we can unlock the wooden coaster here, because I'd like to build that one of these upcoming episodes here. So, yeah, I think we're just gonna let it roll a little bit. We'll probably get to like 2 in the afternoon, and then uh, if something interesting happens, I don't anticipate it. We'll jump back, but if nothing does happen, we'll just start jumping into our creative build of the slide. Well, this may have been one of the more challenging builds for me to come up with, and you're seeing me still struggle here a little bit. But this whole build went through quite a few iterations that you're not seeing here. So initially, just coming up with the idea of how I was going to do this, and you can see we're obviously building a castle. You've probably seen the thumbnail, but it started out as the kind of stereotypical spiral slide themes, and it was going to be continue with the aquatic theme and go for a lighthouse up on some rocks or something along those lines. But I looked at the Frontier Workshop, and there were already quite a few really good ones that I don't think I was going to be able to beat. And honestly, I didn't even want to try and beat them because they were that good. So then I started thinking about, well, what about other themes that we could go with? Of course, there was the sci-fi rocket theme, and because of the way the spiral slide is laid out with the building itself, I didn't think that would necessarily be too easy to make, and I wasn't fully thinking of it. That actually came from the only spiral slide that I've ever been on at Knoebels in Elysburg, Pennsylvania. And then I was also trying to think of, like, well, what about the shape of the slide itself? And maybe we could do something like a drill coming up out of the ground or something along those lines for some type of construction. And I was like, you know what, that's probably not going to look right either with it being straight up out of the ground. Probably would have to be tilted in some way, and that's just not possible in this game. So, you know, I've been trying to, I tried to come up with a couple different unique options, and then looking through the themes, we obviously came up with the castle idea, and this ended up being something that I was like, oh, you know what, I can do this because I can hide it within the castle, and it won't resemble the slide at all that's in game. So you can see we're working here with just trying to cover some of the external structure. We do cover the internal structure. So like when you're running up, you can't necessarily see it either, except for some pieces that will stick out. I couldn't get rid of all of them, but you know, I just kept finding pieces that would fit in different areas that I didn't expect. And you know, it will eventually look pretty weird here soon. And it was certainly a concern. That was another challenge that I was going to have. But you can see we're trying a couple different things here. We now have quite a bit of layers on what's going to be the tallest part of this castle tower, and honestly, it still doesn't look terrible, but there's definitely something. It doesn't quite seem right with the octagon pieces and then the circle pieces. And then, of course, you're still seeing the slide underneath, so it just kind of looks weird altogether. So, you can see we continue to put on some of these, just thrown on, and just keep building, because, you know, that's what seems to be the solution. Whenever you're stuck, you just keep going, keep throwing stuff at it, see what sticks. You can see we move the tower off center, and I think that works out a lot. We add some of these little oriel turrets, some little windows, which I probably shouldn't have added the windows yet, but you know, it's fine. And then we're going to shift out of the top, and we're going to start working on covering that inside piece. And this was a big part for me, because I needed to see how this was going to work, and if this was truly feasible. And you can see I was sitting there looking at that for a little bit, because I did have some concerns about some of those supports for the actual slide showing. But you can see we've got the half pieces in here. We shrank them down a little bit. We are going to move them around. I can't believe I got that right on the first try. And then, you know, just duplicating around. Obviously, it looks fairly ugly yet. We did have to make some minor adjustments to it, but and then we add some of the castle decorative pieces to hide some of the ugly overlaps between the pieces, and fill in some gaps at the bottom. So honestly, it doesn't look too bad here, but you can see we're starting to put that in, and I could not figure out what was going on with that, but we eventually get it. And yeah, again, it just tends to work. It certainly looks a little odd, as it is, but we cover this up pretty significantly just because of the way we were working to get this set. So we fill in some of these gaps here with some of the stucco pieces, because I felt like that was a good compromise. And then this whole area in the back here, I did want it to be open initially here, but it wasn't going to work. So we take some of these arched pieces, and we use that as like a stepping tunnel for the slide itself that you'll eventually slide in. It also saves me from having to do some type of additional theme inside that area, because there was going to be a building on the other side. That was always the plan once we got to the castle theme. But yeah, we needed something there, and that actually saved us a lot. So you are going to see there are some parts of this video where we are inside, and I am throwing the camera around a lot. I tried to cut out a lot of that, and there are some parts where we do not I don't record the whole thing, or I don't show you the whole thing, because there was just parts of it that just didn't need to be in. There's a lot of trial and error. I've never built, even with this theme coming over from Planet Coaster 1, I never built a castle, at least not like this. And so this was all trial and error. And you can see now we're covering up kind of those interior pieces, and that was a big part for me to get past the visual challenge that I was having with it, where I just didn't like the way it was looking. And yeah, we can see we're also concerned about the inside. I was worried, definitely some camera shakes as we're navigating through here. So this part's probably going to be a little difficult to watch in some areas, so I apologize for that. We won't take too long here. You can see there are some times where I stop to think about what I needed to do, and it all ends up working out in the end. So yeah, there I took a big break there because I knew it was getting to be a little bit too much there, so we took that out, and that it's good that's not in here, because I was really throwing the camera around a lot more than what I have been so far. Now we are working on connecting the slide to that tunnel at the end there, on the castle to it, just to make sure there's no gaps. And I figured it would be a good place to have another tall tower. Probably the second tallest tower, I think, in the build. And I think this is where I really start to feel like this is gonna work. We add a lot of windows to this. I did take a look at the Cinderella Castle at Walt Disney World. So there is some inspiration from that, but in no way a recreation or anything like that. So, and then I did want to add some more Oriole turrets to this, just to add some more spires to the whole build, because I knew we were going to need a lot of those. So filling in some gaps here, we actually will, I think, eventually close in that with another small turret. I think that's what it is. Can't remember what they're called now, but a tower, slim tower is what it's called in game. And then on the other side, trying to sort out how I'm going to work in another part of this build that I wanted to make sure I did, and that was having these little archways that lead to another tower that's kind of away from the rest of the castle. There's two of these. They are at different heights, and these towers are going to have pathways that go underneath, and honestly, I think it kind of brings the build back together even more. And then, of course, I think we actually... oh, we hide the... I was trying to figure out how to hide. There was a gap there that I couldn't figure out, so that's what I'm struggling with at the moment. We eventually put a little, like, I don't even know what it is. Just like a little thing to look at, like a painted glass thing of the king. That eventually goes in that area, just to kind of give us something else to look at there. We do add another slim tower here, which eventually will blend in pretty nicely. It also gives us the opportunity to put in another tower top and spire to mix into the build. And then these little arches on the outside, I wanted to have them feature something. So I was trying to figure that all out at the same time here. And that took a little bit, but we needed to cover up some of these ugly portions first. So you can see we use some of those little... I can't remember what they are in game, but they end up working out pretty nicely, adding another level of detail into this. Now, I skip a lot of recording in this area, and that's because there was so much trial and error. And what I actually built didn't take all that long. So you can see there are some different parts. You can see we did kind of finish the front entrance, and then we actually duplicate that and put that up top. So that's kind of what you see what we're working on here. We add some little spires and decorative details, and then we go flying around inside. So you can see that there's so many different spires now, and then of course we come back to working on those little arches. And you know, like I said, I wanted to find something that was gonna fit, like highlight those arches. And I thought a little statue would be nice in there. This particular statue is not the right one. We do find a place for them, for the jester statue, but you can see we are trying to find it. Just doesn't look right to me. The blue background definitely doesn't look right. And you can see we try putting one of those arches in. I was like, oh, that kind of looks pretty decent, but at the same time, it's just doesn't seem right. So we eventually will take all of this out, and then we are going to put in our knight animatronic. We are going to make sure that he does not move, and then we switch everything over to the castle brick, because I think it just looks a little bit better with the castle brick. And I think I can't remember if I get... Oh, I keep the arch. We do get rid of those windows that I just placed. They did not make sense where they were, but they were there. And we get rid of those a little bit later. I think I get rid of them off camera, so at some point they're just going to disappear. Now you can see we move that whole thing and duplicate it onto the other side. So I felt like that fit the area pretty well. And then of course we have to finish building and making sure everything is connected to the bottom, which we do that pretty quickly. Make sure the colors are consistent with the rest of the build for the most part. There are some different colors around, but for the most part, this whole thing is just generic colors for the sets. I thought they were just so good that I just wanted to keep that. So now you can see we are in the interior here. So we're going to go back to swinging the camera around quite a bit. So If you don't like that, I'm sorry, we will be done here not too far into the future. But we address all of the interior portions of this. You know, I wasn't going to worry too much about it, but I did want to clear up some of the jagged edges and you know, just make it a little bit nicer on the inside if someone were to walk in here. So that's what we're doing. You can see we're rotating things around, and that is actually a fairly easy one to do because we know it's not coming through on the outside. So the whole thing is just making sure that it all covers it up, and then at the top that we don't go through parts where people will need to walk to get on the ride. So that's kind of what we're doing now. We just kind of sink that down in, and then I worry about, I think, the rest of that off camera because I realized it was getting a little bit too crazy with the way I was moving it around. Now, this part, I was struggling with the back. I had an idea of what I wanted, and I did not realize that I did not have the parapet. There is no piece for the parapet castle wall that sticks out, which I thought was really kind of weird because there is one for the stucco, but not for the castle brick. So we mess around with this a lot before I realized what I was actually going to do. You can see we've removed it, and we add it back in, and we remove it, and we add it back in. We add in some trims to try and break it up, but honestly, the blue is just, the whole thing's just not sitting with me right. So we eventually say, you know what, let's just go with a regular parapet brick wall, but you can see where we top it off with the stucco, and I can't, for whatever reason right now, I'm blanking on whether we keep that bottom portion. So obviously we're going to keep the top portion that we're working on now. That's going to have the tallest windows that we have, and that would be like more of like the big grand hall area. But this ended up being a lot more of a challenging part because I had to make sure that I wasn't clipping into the slide itself, which I didn't realize was going to be an issue. So it ended up being a lot more of an issue than anticipated initially. But you can see we're messing around with some of the roofing and the floor. I think they're just flat roofs. And we finally get something that we like. And then you can see, here we go, we get rid of those stucco walls there, and we go for the more traditional castle parapets with the blue top to them, just so we can keep some of that blue in there. Added a couple different colors in, and honestly, I think this turns out looking really nice. We also add in we copy one of the top piece there again, which is a copy of the entrance portion of it. And I think that adds another dimension. It also covers up some of the area going up to that top tower, which I think was needed. We get rid of some of the Oriole turrets that we had on, so we do remove a couple of the spires on the back, but honestly didn't think that was that big of an issue. And then you're going to see we're going to add some of the those big windows into this area. And you know, I wanted to find a way to have a door in here. I wasn't sure exactly what kind of door, so I tried moving around to quite a few of them just to see what it is. We also try a couple different colors, and yeah, that doesn't really look all that nice to me. So we steer away from the yellows at least for that those particular pieces. But now you can see we're going into these doors, and yeah, I do wish there were some pieces that just had a little bit more flexibility, but you know, I think the door we settled on is just fine. And then, of course, just tidying up some of these places, moving some of the windows around and whatnot, and yeah, this is pretty pleasing to me. We do add some of the moving knight pieces on the back as if they're standing on guard. Do we need those? Probably not, but I thought it looked nice. Now, this was a part that I was also struggling with, was how was I going to cover the operator? I knew the operator was going to walk to and from, so I wanted to make sure that there was a spot available for him to do it, even though they just walk through everything and it doesn't matter. But you can see I'm trying a whole bunch of different pieces. I end up just making a very, very simple operator's booth, and then just filling around it with some of the old hedge plants from Planet Coaster 1 that they brought into the game, and it looks fine. It's made to just disappear within the rest of the build. This is something you don't really want to see. You can see we're putting those hedges in, and I think we did a pretty good job of hiding all of it. And you know, the fact that you can kind of use these hedges to hide things, they look very clean and very sharp, which is something I would think that you would see with a castle of this magnitude. And then yeah, moving on to the last part here is not last part, I shouldn't say that, we still have quite a bit to go. The pathing. I wanted this to be a centerpiece for wherever it ends up being. I did want to have a little like flower planter pot. Now I am still building this before the most recent update, and at some point it changes over where the update comes through, and we have to worry about that. But you'll see I readjust the pathing when that happens, so you'll see that. But I knew at the back here I wanted to have a little fountain, and I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it. I'm a little disappointed with some of the fountain pieces that they are not recolorable, like that Princess Amelie statue. You cannot recolor that, and it's got this like weird yellowish tinge to it, or brownish yellow, and it just doesn't work right. So we decided, you know what, we're going to make our own custom little fountain here out of these parapet, and it does look off a little bit there, and I think I correct that. I hope I did. Eventually, I'm pretty sure I do. We add in our, yeah, this is where I realized that something wasn't right. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I did fix it. Yeah, just using these water pieces that are fantastic, and they just overlap each other. They are just so good, and they fit in there perfectly. We use some of these shields. We're going to put a little fountain in them, and then we finally find our place for the jester in the back of the castle here. Yeah, I think it makes some sense to have him in here. It's a gold jester just in the back. It's more of a bronze. I can recolor him. So, yeah, we get those in there, and then it's just lining up the path to make sure that it is all buttoned up against the castle. Now I knew in this area we were not going to bring that path all the way over, because we do have part of the ride base. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, I knew we had to cover up some of that, and I thought that a really nice thing to be here would be a little bit more water with a fountain coming out of the castle. Why? I've got no idea. But I really like the way it looks in the end, so we keep it. And, it just adds another dimension to it. We had to use these little slit windows. We turn on its side. I thought they looked really unique, like this would be something that you could see. And the way the water comes out, it looks like it just comes right out of that slit. So, I really like the way that all turns out here now. Of course, trying to tidy up some of the path work here again. I struggle with the path. Now, at this point, I think we move into the update. You can see I'm trying to navigate some of this a little bit. And actually, I think we might have run into a little bit of a challenge here where, yeah, the color of the path, I couldn't get the color of the path right. But eventually we got it. For whatever reason, the base color on that path just changed. But now it's time to build our sign for this, which you saw in the thumbnail. Pretty basic sign. And name for the slide itself did not come from me. It came from Mrs. Mostly Average Matt, and she wanted to have a little bit of a French theme. So Toboggan Du Chateau is going to be the name of this slide or castle, or whatever you want to do, whatever you want to call it. And I think it looks pretty good. I do add some windows here on the turret, and both turrets. Every time I look at them now, I don't think they should be there. They did make it into the final version of this, but I think we're going to take them off. I think we're going to remove them, yeah, I think it will look better without them. So let me know what you think on that, because the more I see it, the less I like it. So yeah, and you can see this is a very simple sign. There's not a whole lot going on with all these. Of course, the scaling feature was giving me some fits, so I had to do that. And then I do like moving due to the side. And those are the windows there that I just added in. That just, I don't know why I added them. Now on the back of this sign, we're going to add a little ledge and put some knights up there, just to add some definition and uniqueness to the sign. Turn a little sideways because I don't want it to be directly in front of the castle. And yeah, I did also forget that we did have the little small pennant flags, which of course I wanted in there as well. And you can see I was really struggling with the queue here. It kept wanting to have that overlap regardless of what I was doing, and I didn't want that. And regardless of how I tried to move it, it just wasn't working. And then I was like, you know what? Why don't we let's just not have much of a queue for this. Let's just go straight out of the station, or out of the entrance, have it go straight to the path, and that be it. We don't want a lot of people in line for this anyway, so let's give them the least amount that they can be there. Yeah, that's what we end up doing. I did take a look at putting another sign off to the side, but that seemed like too much. I looked at putting another turret over there. That was too much. And again, that was probably the only area that I was going to get a little bit of garden or flower area in. Of course, we do look at having the hedges in this area as well. And look at the new hedges, which aren't quite as clean. And I was like, well, you know what? That looks weird if I'm going to use the other one, especially considering how much of the hedge work I was using. So we try a couple different things here. I didn't like the large block of hedge there. And then, you know, I left it there to sit on it, and I went over to the other side. We make a little hedge wall around the front of the sign, add in some flat flowers underneath it. And I think that actually worked out really well. We line that up a little bit better with the queue. Put some hedges in around the back just to kind of lock everything off there and keep things consistent. And then we go back to the other side and you say, you know what, let's kind of do another curved hedge wall here, rather than go with the idea of having the statue underneath the arch there. So this actually worked out a lot better. We did have a little bit of a challenge here, trying to figure out how this was going to work. It is a little bit more of a tighter radius than the other circle in front of the sign, but it ends up working out in the end, and we get a nice little area for plants and whatnot as well. So again, pretty pleased with the way this all turned out. And then once we get through this, I believe it's time to get some of our pathing done here. And I found it easiest just to go through and use the stamp to make sure I got the path where I wanted to the first time, and then just go back and tidy up all the nodes and whatnot. And yeah, it just worked out so well. We get some benches in around. We did keep them within the theme of the fairy tale theme. We used the planet coaster bins because I felt like they worked a little bit better. And then we go and get our signage, or not signage, our lights for the castle. And I know I mentioned this in the live portion, but there are some white lights on the castle that I don't know where they came from. And they're very hot, they're very bright. I don't know what to do to get rid of them. I'm sure it's piece probably like the clock and things like that, but we're not able to get rid of them. So we leave it there. I still think it looks fine. I'm not too concerned about that. And yeah, we are quickly wrapping up. Maybe not so quick, but we are wrapping up the time-lapse portion of this. This was a difficult build for me, and I couldn't be more proud of where it ended up going. So I will let you finish out this time lapse, and I will see you in the live portion. All right, so boy, what a change in view for the park this is. You can see we've gotten our new themed flat ride in the center of our park. It's going to be the centerpiece. This is definitely just a mishmash of whatever themes I'm going to throw in here. And man, I think it looks really good. I'm really proud of it. It took a lot longer. It was definitely a challenge to come up with everything here for it and to make it all work here. But we have everything that we wanted in this and more. We are going to turn off the fixed sun because we don't need that anymore. But you can see it just kind of works together, and it does one of the things that I didn't think I'd be able to do, and hides the Helter Skelter slide. I love the slide itself, but I just didn't. It's not. I don't know. I didn't care for it to be in the park, and I felt like it needed to be to get the park going, and now I found a way to keep it here. So you can see people are wandering around, coming over to the slide. It is not open yet. It does have a path all the way around, so there is we can continue the path after it, and kind of treat this, like I said, as our centerpiece, or at least what we're going to be looking at in the middle of our park, or somehow in the middle. Um, but yeah, I mean, the Toboggan Du Chateau, which is castle slide or some form of that in French. And this is a blueprint that is going to be up on the Frontier Workshop. So if you want to download it, it's less than 1,000 pieces. It's not gonna destroy any consoles or anything like that. But yeah, it looks awesome. And now, of course, we do have to get it open. So we'll go ahead. We should probably just do a quick test on it. The cost for this ride is probably going to jack up here. It does have a very short queue. Again, I don't like the long queues for these because in reality, a bunch of people are up and in waiting inside this, and it's just going a lot quicker than what it actually does. So you can see our staff person, they're going to walk right through all the stuff and actually walk through the panel, but that's fine. As long as there's a believable path for them to get there, which there is, we'll be good with that. And let's actually see if we can go up here. And, oh, nope, you cannot do it that way. Okay. So we can ride Helter Skelter by just clicking on it, but that's no fun. Oh, and it put us at the exit. Oh, we do need to rename the ride, so there's that. But we will manually go through this. It is not the prettiest on the inside. And this is definitely pretty narrow, but if I remember, the one spiral slide that I've been on was also very narrow. But you can see it is themed on the inside. We do have a chandelier in the middle. We actually have two of them on top of each other to make sure we have good lighting here. And then once you get up, of course, you do get on the slide. Whoa. We're going to go all the way down through here. It does peek out here a little bit towards the front, so you get a little bit of sight. People can probably see you. Oh, and there goes someone sliding down, and then it comes back through and then out at the bottom here. And there we go. So this turned out to be one of my favorite builds. You can see we're starting to get people. We're going to have people congregate in the area here because they're going to want to get on the slide here. But honestly, I'd rather it be like that rather than make a longer line. Just have them make this line even longer. So I'm pretty content with the way this is. I never actually got to see how close, how narrow this this little archway is here. So what we might do here quick is just swing in here, swing back this way, and just kind of watch. Someone's going to be coming through here. That guy in the blue, there he goes. That's fine. He's going through it. It's good enough. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Now, of course, that does open up some area over on this side that just doesn't have anything, which is fine. That'll, of course, get fixed here in an upcoming episode. But for now, we're looking pretty good. We are going to rename this quick. And yeah, you can see it. It's got a long line. I can't do anything about it. People are always just going to do it. So it does even have some moving pieces in the back. I'm surprised people are actually walking around here, considering there's nothing back here. Um, but I think it'll be fine unless they can get back that way. So yeah, so at this point, not a whole lot happened for the management portion. We did get quite a few. Oh, oh, there was an issue. There was an issue with this. Um, we need to. I did make a mistake here. Mm, so this is our breaker. You're just going to take your break here, and then we are going to select that right, the iron claw. So that should sort that problem out. A lot of pickpockets in the park that we have to keep an eye on, but not much else because we were on pause for a lot of the build. And honestly, we're at $30,000, so we're looking pretty good. We're ideally going to have enough money to build a coaster in the next episode. I do need to get some of the research done that we mentioned. I think I mentioned earlier. It was a while since I did the recording for the first part. But, we're going to go ahead. We will fast forward a little bit, see what comes up. And, if anything interesting happens, I will bring it back. If not, we'll come right back for the management features. All right, so not a whole lot happened in between the last update, and now we are at the end of the day. And you can see it is raining, and you can see we also do have some lighting on the Toboggan Du Chateau. And yeah, this is the first time we've had to deal with rain, and I don't think it is that big of an issue. But we will take just a quick spin around the castle because you can see all the lighting that was done. Not a whole lot was done into it. Also, I don't know what these white hot points are. Um, I thought it was something with the slide, but it might be a piece that I've placed down. I'm not 100% certain because they are very bright and I don't have any control over them. So I didn't worry about it too much. Um, yeah, and honestly, it doesn't look too bad. The hot spots there just kind of emphasize parts of the castle that it's fine. Um, but yeah, so let's pull up our HUD here. You can see we have a bunch of notifications. We have a security issue, so I do think, and then of course they are complaining about the rides being cheap, which we're not going to increase. We're not going to have people wait 3 hours to ride a $45 slide. That's not something we're going to do. Or same with the hyper spin over here. But we are going to address some of the security issues. So let's find our security guy. Ride attendant security. So we're just going to hire three. I don't know what I said there. Oh, we can't run it yet because we are still at the end of the day, and it's soon gonna. I think I didn't leave myself any time here to really worry about it. So we hired three. Hopefully that will help. We are catching a lot of them, but we're not catching all of them. So, we'll keep an eye out for that. But now, if we jump into our park management, you can see today we've made almost $60,000, and that is including the construction that we did. 86,000 of it came from ride tickets, 22,000 in food sales, 10,000 drink sales, almost 11,000. Souvenir sales at 16, guest service sales, which looks like that's down from last month, but that's fine. Security fines, 5,300, so that's a lot of fines. Cash rewards, we don't have any of that. Our cost to breakdowns power, of course, is going to be the bulk of it. Shop inventory, all of these we've made. Even this one we've made about $7,000. Guest services even made a little bit of money, so that is really good. And then our construction, it was $13,000 to build that slide. Now, obviously, we didn't have to build the slide itself. We did have some infrastructure already. But $13,000, not that bad. We don't have any loans. We're not going to take out any loans. Our park options, ticket price. Vandals, 17 to 34 caught. Pickpockets, we're doing better with pickpockets, 77 of 99, with 5 criminals still in the park. We have nothing that we need to repair, which is really good. And of course, we're not going to worry about any of this stuff yet. Our park rating, unique attractions, we know that is hurting us the most. Attraction prestige, that I think is going to continue to go up as we continue to get more detailed in our ride building, and we're hoping to build a new roller coaster, which will help both of these, I believe, because we are going to theme it, so that's going to certainly take some time for us to get through those, but that's perfectly fine as well. Our park reputation is 5, scenery rating is 5, so I think we're doing just fine on that front. Our guest experience, 5 overall mood is 5, overall thoughts assessment 4.8, so that's really good. A lot of people thirsty and hungry. These are people that are in a line. Same with the toilet. Nothing I can eat or drink here, so we're going to have to address some type of food and drink that's unique to what we have. So maybe we'll do another quick little update to our food stands, or maybe we'll do a restaurant. Maybe we'll put the coaster on. I don't think we're going to put the coaster on hold. And then of course people that have been waiting in line long, because now we have rides that are worth waiting for. And they're not happy about that. So that's fine. Over here in this cool little bar graph, entertainment's looking really good. Energy is looking good. Hunger, actually pretty good at 87%. Some people do need it, but again, those are people in line. Thirst, 70%, so we need to address something to drink. Toilet's pretty good. Nausea's great. Panic's great. And souvenir, we need to address souvenir. We need to build some type of souvenir shop. In addition to the hat's fantastic. We don't have any advertising campaigns. I don't think we need it. We're making plenty of money at the moment. If we look at our rides here, we have 6 rides total. 2 that have custom names and custom scenery. The Swirly Pearl, doing quite well, making some money for us. I don't know what's this symbol? Oh, it just takes me to the people that are scheduled to work it. So that's something I didn't know about the game. Nothing too outrageous in terms of ride prestige. So I think, if we do a really good job building a coaster and get that prestige up to that 5 stars, that should really help us. So we'll see how that turns out. I did notice that the Swirly Pearl is when it went through its classic or old status determination, it's still showing as old, so it's minus 20% appeal. which is fine. Honestly, I was kind of hoping it wasn't going to go classic because then the line would just be that much longer and that would take people away from purchasing other things or riding other rides. So we want to keep the lines somewhere around like half full so people aren't just stuck in line. We don't have any pools. Our shops, these are just fine. Viva La Vegan has made $10,000. The Hat's Fantastic has made a lot of money. And Hot Dog Squad's doing good. Gulpy Soda Vending Machine. We're all looking pretty good on that front. Our facilities, we're not charging anything for facilities. Our utilities, I don't even think we have generators yet. So that's good. We probably will need one coming up here. Our staff, everyone seems to be happy or content. We got everyone up to fair pay in the last episode, or whenever that ended up being. So we're looking pretty good on that front. Research. So over this past day, day 5, we did get enough to unlock something in our research tree. So we are going to unlock the wooden coasters. And that's because I feel like a wooden coaster is something that would be feasible for this park at this stage. It shouldn't cost a whole lot, but it can also have a pretty strong capacity to make us quite a bit of money. So we'll go ahead. We'll research that now, and that's all we had enough to do. So at the end of tomorrow, we should have enough to do another thing. I'm not sure what we'll do, whether it's going to be, solar panel or some type of flat ride. Flat ride's not a bad idea. Flumes, who knows? I'm not ready to do a water park yet. And then finances, we kind of already gone over the finances, so we're not going to do that again. It's all going to be the same stuff that we saw earlier. So generally speaking, we're looking pretty good here. We've got our people floating in here. Let's go ahead and start rolling with this, and we'll get through the day and then see what our daily recap has for us. Okay, so guest experience, like we mentioned, 5, park reputation, a 5, park rating, a 2.17, nothing outrageous there. Number of rides per adult, 3.5, almost the same for rides for child, so that's really good. Profit over $61,000, so that is awesome. Yeah, I think this was definitely a difficult video for me to make. I did struggle with coming up with how I wanted to theme this ride, but in the end, I think it turned out really good. Really pleased with the way it turned out. So I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to leave a like. If you saw something I could have done better, let me know in the comment section. And if you want to see some more awesome Planet Coaster 2 content, please subscribe to the channel. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Later!